Hi, I'm Hannah.
I'm Marius. We're from Sore Thumb, and today we wanted to do something a little bit different. We work a little non-traditionally here. We don't have an office. We don't have, a workspace per se.
We work remotely.
We work remotely. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like to do that and the sorts of tricks that we've come across to make that actually function and to keep our business running while having this non-standard setup.
Because if you're working from home or something like that, there's lots of distractions and, maybe your cat is meowing at you and maybe your roommate says something and, oh, I see there's dishes in the sink. So one thing that I like to do is try to separate myself a little bit from my home. I live in a small apartment, so it's sometimes hard to do, but in the summers I work on the balcony because I can shut a door away from the rest of the apartment. And in the wintertime, I go down to the community meeting room in my building and work from there sometimes because it's just a little bit of separation from where you sleep, where you eat, and all the goings on that might be happening in your apartment.
I think it's also really important to know how you work best because some people really do well in a work from home environment and other people don't. They need that physical separation. For instance, I actually really love working from home. And so for me, the important thing to separate is not so much related to space, it's related to time, which means that I like to set pretty firm boundaries around where I'm going to answer work emails, where I'm going to even check things like work emails. I want to really make sure that when I am in work mode, I'm approachable, I'm reachable. But when I'm done with work, even though I may be in the same space, you can't, my day is done. And I think having those kinds of boundaries, while very difficult to establish, because of course you want to be available to your clients, especially in agency work like ours, you want to be responsive, you want to be there. But for your own sanity and for the quality of the work that you do, it's important to give yourself that healthy separation that everybody else gets by default just because they work in an office.
I mean, that's a good advice to have even when you work in an office, because some people can take that home with them on their phone all the time anyways.
It's true, yeah.
I think my last piece of advice is, if it's not working for you or if something's not working for you, feel like you're not getting work done, switch it up a little bit. I come over to Marius's to work sometimes so I can get away from my house and give myself a little break because I find the separation of space is really hard for me. And also, there's a lot of co-working space options out here in Toronto, especially where you can pay for one day a week even to go and use another space. And sometimes just switching that up and getting yourself out of that mindset can help out.
Some of the other stuff that we do as a company is establish pretty good controls and software solutions to try and stay on top of who's responsible for what, when it's due, who's working on what.
Because we are often not in the same room or same office, we can't just walk down the hall and ask for something. So it's important to make sure you're staying on top of all your clients and you're staying on top of what needs to get done and who needs to do it. And you have those touch points of communication. And something that's also really important for us is that we separate our work chat and our friend chat because we're friends still and sometimes we do friend things. So we text each other and hey, but we use Basecamp to talk about all of our work-related stuff, and keeping that separate is really important to us too.
Yeah.
There's lots of tips out there. There's lots of different stuff you can do. We just wanted to share some of our stuff and let us know what you do to help keep yourself motivated in a traditional or non-traditional workspace in the comments below.
See you next time.